Alrighty, so just making a video about the letter put together for Shane Patton. So it's come off the back of a media release that happened on the project where he made a call out to the public to let him know when officers working for police, Victoria Police should I say, are displaying certain standards that you wouldn't accept. So when I saw that, that's like, well, first we need to understand what the standards are. So this letter actually goes through the standards that they are to be held to based on a universal principle, and that is of morality, not your own individual preferences and biases. So it goes above all the things that they've actually come and said are the problem, and goes to the root cause of why they're actually have no legitimacy to actually even be in any position where they're supposedly upholding the law. And so if we don't call that out, if we don't call out the lie, then it's going to keep continuing. So it's a perfect opportunity for people to actually call out the lie that is the Victoria Police. You can do the same thing in your state, so you can just change it over, pick out the parts that are not relevant, edit them out. The bulk of the letter will be exactly the same, the meaning's no different. So if there's any specifics that are not relevant to your state, you just take them out and obviously change the name over and any other details. So as you can see here, it's got the name. So when it's time, when you're finishing all the red bits, just put it there so you can see it. So you don't have to do anything with the address, it's already done. Just go up here and change it to black by just hitting that. And there you go, it's quite easy. I'll just put it back to red. Same thing with the date. Sent by recorded post, guys, so you want to make sure you're doing it by a registered post. So you can track it and know that it's been delivered. And if it's not, then you'll know, and then you can seek compensation. So just going to read a few things. Furthermore, building upon my previous point, I aim to highlight what my research has revealed about the correct authority vested in police constables when they take the oath of office. This is all about moral principle, guys, what they're bound to, which involves pledging allegiance to the highest ranking public servant of the entire Commonwealth. This allegiance carries substantial implications for your role as representative entrusted with the administration of justice in nations under Commonwealth jurisdiction. So what we're saying is no such thing as like Australian law, like some separate entity. Otherwise they wouldn't be carrying, even though it's a fake crown, they wouldn't be carrying that on their insignia, right? They would have something entirely different. So it shows that we are actually here in Australia still operating under one universal system, which is supposed to be English common law, right? That's what it's supposed to be. And under English common law, you take a common law oath of office of constable. And that's what we're actually holding them to as far as the standard, the correct standard. And if we don't start all unifying around that, they'll get away with it like they have been for hundreds of years. So that's what we're actually stating, and it takes each individual to get out and do it in their own name. That's when it has power, and it's when the multiple voices of each individuals come together saying the same thing, unified around the truth. That's when you'll see change. But if you don't instigate it, no one can do it for you. So this is why we put this together for you. The allegiance carries substantial implications for your role, as representative in touch. I think I just said that, didn't I? Under Commonwealth jurisdiction, as the holder of the highest rank, within the office of Constable in Victoria, it is essential that you fulfil your duty by providing the public you serve with accurate and concise knowledge, addressing any inaccuracies that may have arisen. By doing so, you can ensure transparency, uphold public trust, and fulfill your responsibilities as a custodian of justice. I'm being very polite here. Based on my investigations, I've found that none of the constables I have encountered are willing to affirm their commitment to their constable oath. If you haven't seen that before, guys, there's actually a video that shows that, how much they try and dodge that. Additionally, the majority of the constables I have contacted seem to be unaware of their role as a public servant. Moreover, they are unable to provide a definition of impartiality, nor are they capable of explaining the fundamental principles of universal morality, which they are required to uphold through their oath. This raises the question of how is it possible for thousands of constables under your jurisdiction This raises the question of how it is possible for the thousands of constables under your jurisdiction to be completely unaware of the boundaries of their authority, which is no greater than that of any individual community member. After all, the police are part of the community, and the community is part of the police. Is that not correct? So the next one is really important because it talks about policing by consent. Now, if you paid attention throughout this whole COVID pantomime, there was a moment in time, I remember this specifically, it's one of those ones I never forgot, where Chief Wiggum, going by the name of Luke Cornelius, the Assistant Commissioner, came out and said that they police by consent. Huge, huge deal, guys. You need to make a huge deal about that. So here's your opportunity to do that. Adherence to the oath of office without deviation is the cornerstone that empowers constables to embody the concept of policing by consent. So you're holding their feet to the fire now about things they've actually said out in public that they've lied to you about, and you're holding them to the lie now. It is through unwavering commitment to this oath that true authority is bestowed. However, let it be known that anyone who claims to police by consent, which is what they do, yet lacks knowledge of their solemn oath, which none of them will actually display they know, can only resort to policing by force, a flagrant act of terrorism. So you're showing it right there in their faces. They can't hide. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff in here, guys. If I keep talking about it, it'll go for way longer than I wanted to. So I highly suggest you read through the whole thing. It's only 3 pages long. And if nothing else, you're going to learn, if you understand what's there, the true nature of how we, the people, are the authority over the police. And they are answerable to us. And if we don't start asserting that, they will keep dominating and controlling like they have been to this point.